All right, I think we're back. The fuck? That was really crazy. Yeah, I think my internet just went out. That's the only thing that I can figure out. Everything just dropped off and everything started getting weird. I actually got up. I was like, started turning stuff off, and then I was like, then the video started playing again. I was like, what the hell? So we still got some time here. Let's keep going. A little too much sucking dick talk, huh? They figured out that I was cracking the code to making all the money, which is apparently sucking all the cock. And I better hold off. We're gonna get taken down again. Let me get the chat in here. Welcome in, everybody. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing the damn thing. I want to finish this fucking video.
Certainly, as you've indicated, viewed the videotape and read the typed transcript which accompanied it for your purposes. She didn't accept responsibility for killing him, did she?
I was like getting up, and I was like, the video started playing again. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, you're kidding me? Hey, we need to refresh. Am I still live? Okay, 1:18:27. Goes down again. I'm probably gonna stop it. What the hell? Here we go.
Well, she accepted responsibility for it, but she felt that she did it in self-defense and therefore should not be criminally responsible.
She felt she was fully justified.
Ooh.
Yes.
Same with every other killing, right?
Yes.
Well.
Now, this story of justification where she describes ultimately an anal rape, being tied up, alcohol squirted up her nose, things like that. The first time you heard that story was when?
Your Honor, objection beyond the scope.
Overruled.
First time I heard it personally
Yes, sir.
was when she told me during the interview on January 19th of this year.
Okay, just 10 days ago.
Yes.
In the interview with the police officer, deputy sheriff that was videotaped, she not once told being tied up and raped by Mr. Mowry and having alcohol squirted up her nose, did she?
She did not go into those details, no.
And in fact, when Dr. McMahon first met with her, that was the psychologist. You know Dr. McMahon?
Yes.
She's a shorter lady with hair the color of yours.
I know Dr. McMahon.
Okay. You both work in Gainesville?
Yes.
You kind of associates type?
No, no.
I don't mean in professionals.
No, we've been involved in some cases together.
Okay. All right. Now, Dr. McMahon, as you know, is appointed as a confidential expert to assist the defense and work with Ms. Wuornos. And you're aware of that, correct?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, the witness. That's beyond the scope of this witness.
If he has knowledge, you can answer.
I'm aware that she was appointed as an expert, as a confidential expert.
And you have all of Dr. McMahon's notes of her tests and interviews, correct?
As far as I know.
Okay. And she, Dr. McMahon, met with Ms. Wuornos February 26, 1991, right? First time?
Yes.
And did not mention one time to Dr. McMahon, according to her notes, that she had been tied up and raped and had alcohol squirted all over, things like that, did she?
It's not in her notes, that's correct.
And then she again met with Dr. McMahon on March the 8th, 1991, and again, didn't tell her anything concerning being tied up with a rope and anally raped and alcohol squirted in her nose, correct?
Not in her notes, that's correct.
Okay. But she did tell a first version and describe in detail an alleged attempted rape by Mr. Mowry, didn't she, there on March the 8th?
She described the incident, she described violence, but as far as I can tell from reading the notes, she did not describe the same details that she subsequently told Dr. Bordini and myself.
Yeah, it's fucking me up.
A few days ago.
Yes.
Sucks. Yo, True Crime
But I'm asking
Butterfly,
you
what's
on,
up?
On December the 23rd, now this is the third interview Dr. McMahon,
Good to see you.
psychologist,
Hope you're having a good weekend.
appointed to help her. She still hadn't told anything of being, I'm sorry,
Overruled.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the objection.
I didn't either.
Argumented.
She didn't tell one time of being tied up,
I'll go off the side on a cock
raped, and alcohol
tangent.
squirted up her nose and all that stuff, did she?
I have no idea what was asked
There we
of her.
go. Late for church. Good to see you, True Crime Butterfly, with a $2 holler, helping us out here. We've been working on a wheel, and I think you're the number 9th slot. One thing that I got going on, one thing that I need to do, actually, I'll probably do a double. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and... So I got a new video coming out today. Oops, wrong button. I got a new video coming out today on Wrestle Plunge 4:45 Eastern. A new wrestling video. It's a wild story about this character named New Jack, who's an absolute maniac and a lunatic. If you ever see watching me, I have 2 other videos on this guy, and he's a wild person. But yeah, I got a new video coming out today at 4:45 Eastern. Anybody that comes through and helps me out on that video, the way that I know that you do that is if you leave a comment, but if you could leave a like, and if you have the ability to do hype, if you would like to share. But the real way I know that you've been there is that if you leave a comment. So anybody that does that gets on a very special secret wheel. That's what I call it here in the Buzz Nation. And it's only for the Buzz Nation folks. If you go over there and you leave a comment, I'll put you on that wheel for a free t-shirt giveaway. A possibility of a free t-shirt anyways. And I've already got 1 wheel set for that. Here's the thing. The last video, I haven't spun that wheel yet. I'm going to collect all those names, and then we'll do this one, and I'll collect all those names, and we'll do 2 wheels for 2 t-shirts here coming up very soon. So, new video coming out. So if you guys could help me out, I appreciate it.
From the notes that I reviewed...
Thank you so much, True Crime Butterfly.
Dr. McMahon...
You're on this wheel. This wheel's for the goodies.
Informed her of those details
Appreciate that.
during those interviews.
Helping me
There were a
out.
lot of other details about an attempted rape with clothes on and just didn't unzip pants, right?
She had discussed that, yes.
Dude, I had to get a coffee this morning.
Finally, December 23rd, she tells Dr. McMahon a similar story to what she told you in the courtroom.
I don't know what she told the courtroom, but according to the notes, it was consistent with what she essentially told Dr. Bordini and myself.
What she told you now.
Yes.
With regard to the truthfulness of the reporting, doesn't your opinion as a clinical psychologist depend at least to some degree upon the truthfulness of the facts reported by the subject, Ms. Wuornos?
Probably the most important aspect in terms of an opinion is...
Excuse me, I can ask you which is most important in just a minute. Okay?
I don't think I can answer that yes or no.
You can't answer which is most important?
No, not without explaining.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question and see if you can answer without explaining. If you can't, then we'll get to the explanation, all right?
Okay.
Doesn't the accuracy of your diagnoses and virtually any other clinical psychologist depend at least in part on the truthfulness of the person being interviewed?
At least in part, yes.
And if that person is deceptive or lies or tells
He's
half-truths,
saying this bitch is lying. How can you trust Aileen Wuornos? That's what this guy's saying.
it may
Thought I would decipher that.
result in an inaccurate diagnosis, correct?
That is correct.
And in fact, you have, to your knowledge,
And the chat.
at least one other
Chat said,
instance
fuck you.
of a threat to falsely report a rape by Ms. Wuornos, don't you?
Objection, Your Honor.
That's no rule.
A threat,
God.
yes.
Okay. And in fact, she had threatened to report that the deputy sheriffs that took her to her psychiatric exams had tried to rape her, didn't she?
Objection, Your Honor.
That's no rule.
I'm sorry, Mr.
In
Tanner.
fact, she had threatened to report that the deputy sheriffs that took her to her psychiatric exam in Dr. Barnard's office had raped her, didn't she?
That is what the officer said, yes.
She didn't deny that, did she?
No.
Now, with regard to the opinion as to whether or not she had a personality disorder, is there a reasonable medical probability that she may have had a concurrent or a co-personality disorder, or has?
Certainly, there is a possibility in any individual that they may have more than one
There it is.
personality
Good.
disorder concurrent, and I considered that in this case.
In fact, these categories of these conditions for mental disorders may not even be wholly relevant to legal judgments with regard to individual responsibility.
Where you been?
Is that correct?
I'm not sure your question. They do not suggest that the person is not legally responsible.
Okay. With regard to an alternative diagnosis, did you consider in your evaluation after having looked at everything you said you did, that in fact Ms. Wuornos may be suffering from an antisocial personality disorder?
Sure, I considered that.
In fact, she met most of the criteria, didn't she?
She met 3 out of the 4 required criteria, in my opinion.
Okay. And which one did she not meet?
In my opinion, based on the data I have, she did not meet the criteria which states that there is an evidence of a conduct disorder with the onset before the age of 15, as indicated by a history of 3 or more of the following, and then there's a list of 12 sub-criteria in which she has to have been documented to have met 3 for that criteria to be satisfied.
All right, so in fact, what you're indicating is that she didn't meet even 3 of the 12 possible indicia that would have caused you to diagnose her as an antisocial personality?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm looking, and I know you have your DSM-3R with you. Certainly, before the age of 15, it was evident that she was a truant, correct?
No,
No?
I don't have evidence of that. The school records that I'm aware of do not suggest that.
Okay. Well, surely it's been revealed to you she had run away from home at least twice overnight.
I'm not aware that that happened before the age of 15.
Well, how about that she often initiated fights?
I don't have any data on that. Again, before the age of 15, which is crucial for this diagnosis.
I see. In other words, if she met all of these criteria under that age category, but she was 16, then it wouldn't count?
That is correct.
Okay, what about 15 and a half?
That's correct.
How about 15 one day?
That is why we have this type of manual, so people can have some objective, so professionals can have the same criteria to go on.
And your standards such as she was 15 years old in one day and met all those criteria, she still wouldn't count as an antisocial personality?
Not technically.
Okay, because it was one day past her 15th birthday.
That is correct.
Is this science or art or what do you call it? Science or an art or what?
It's a behavioral science.
Okay.
It's a bit
Is
of an
this
insulting
behavioral science
question.
really that exact that one day, one birthday day would make the difference for all the people that ever examined?
First of all, we're not talking about that in this particular case necessarily.
I'd also sort of
It's
see his
one
point
day.
on
You
what
asked me
he's
the
going
question
at.
hypothetically if I would technically have to rule out that diagnosis, and I
You
said
would?
yes.
Okay.
But
Thank you. With regard to
He's such a
her other
dickhead,
problems,
though.
she
It's
didn't
like,
have
fuck you.
hallucinations or delusions, did
Thank
she?
you.
she reported some aberrant, some unusual phenomena which occurred when she was younger, but I certainly would not describe her as being psychotic.
She had no psychoses,
That's
correct? No mini psychoses, miniature psychoses.
Not that I'm aware of.
Would a mini psychosis be where you have a psychosis for a few minutes or a few hours and you don't have it again?
That's your term. I've never really heard that, but I presume you're referring to what we would call an acute psychotic break, which is something that happens at a given time period, and then fairly soon after that, the person becomes pretty normal again.
You have never even heard the term mini psychosis, have you?
No?
Until I just kind of used it.
Yes.
Excuse me, I'm a lawyer, not a psychologist. Other than the fact that the subject, Ms. Wuornos, and let me ask you about a couple more of the categories. You said that she didn't do some of these things that she had to do according to the Psych Bible before she's 15. Was there certainly evidence that she set fires? I'm reading from the book. Deliberately engaged in fire setting before 15, wasn't there?
I'm aware of one incident in which she and her older sister were involved in a fire situation. I am not aware, nor do I have evidence to suggest that she deliberately engaged in a fire setting.
Don't even have that? Okay. How about that she often lied before she's 15?
That is probably accurate.
Okay. And had stolen without confrontation before she's 15?
As far as I know, there is one incident to suggest that would hold.
Okay. So all it would need to be is any one of those other things before 15, and then she would have been an antisocial personality, wouldn't she?
Correct.
Was there anything in her behavior, other than the fact she, according to her self-reporting, did not support an antisocial personality disorder versus a borderline personality disorder? Was there anything in her behavior that indicated she was not an antisocial personality?
I think that's a double negative, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Didn't mean to
She
do
does
that.
not meet the criteria according to the DSM-3. She has exhibited antisocial behavior from the time that she has been an early adult.
Well, in fact, according to the, I guess, school psychologist on April the 13th, 1970, when she was 13 years old, she was right then and there just demonstrating antisocial behavior, wasn't she?
That's what the report says.
Okay. Well, that's what the psychologist said when she did the report.
Right, but the report also talks about a superego, which is essentially analogous to a conscience, which we typically don't see in a person who has the antisocial personality disorder.
Okay. Did you see evidence of a conscience in her from your examination?
Yes.
Are you, surely you're aware from the videotape and the transcript that she said it was all right to kill these men because they were all up in years and didn't have parents at home. Didn't she say that?
Objection, Your Honor, beyond the scope.
It's right on point.
If he has one, you can answer it.
And beyond the scope of the hearing, Your Honor, 8th Amendment grounds.
I'm sorry.
Beyond the scope of the hearing, 8th Amendment grounds.
Objection overruled.
Said that, didn't she?
With regard to the incident itself, she has not expressed guilt or conscience, but you asked me whether she has expressed conscience, and I'd say yes.
Just no guilt or conscience for killing Mr. Mallon. Is that what you're saying?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Is that what
She
you're saying?
felt it was self-defense.
And in fact, I'm sure you're aware, she indicated to one of the other persons that she talked to, which I'm sure you have the report, that these men deserve to die because they're cheating on their families. Did she say that?
She indicated that, yes.
Not much conscience there, is there?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Let me sustain there, too.
No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Read direct, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Doctor, the diagnostic criteria for an antisocial personality disorder under the DSM-3
Yes.
Tanner read to you.
Yes.
All right.
They
See how this guy
describe
handles him
people with
again. You know, this is the guy that brought him up to begin with, and the childlike defense attorney of Aileen Wuornos.
Antisocial personality disorders as the following. Frequently, there are signs of personal distress. Is that true here?
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Melsky. Get your book back.
Thank you. These signs include complaints of tension, Is that true there?
Yes.
An inability to tolerate boredom and depression, which they constantly have to deal with. Is that true here?
Yes, that characterizes her.
And the conviction, often correct, that others are hostile toward them.
Yes.
Is that true here?
Yes.
And that's the antisocial personality disorder.
Yes.
Assuming hypothetically that someone has an antisocial personality disorder, where does it come from? Is that someone chooses when they're a child?
I wish we really knew where it came from. It certainly doesn't come from something that the person chooses to do. The person does not make a choice of a particular personality which is going to perhaps result in that person being incarcerated in his either juvenile or adult life.
A child doesn't wake up one day and say, Mommy, Daddy, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a fireman, I want to be an antisocial personality. That doesn't happen, does it?
No.
Are there genetic factors?
There may be, yes.
Are there environmental factors?
There definitely is, yes.
People with antisocial personality disorders, is that a disorder in the DSM-3? Is that something they suffer from, which experts recognize?
Yes.
And disorder, I take it the word means it's something that's not usual.
That's correct.
It's a problem.
Yes.
So does DSM-3R?
Correct.
It's a mental health problem, is it not?
Yes.
If we had an antisocial personality disorder, would that in any way change the fact that she has impairments?
No, not at all.
Would that in any way change the fact that she has poor judgment?
No.
Would that in any way change the fact that she lacks insight?
No.
Would that in any way change the fact that she was raised in a dysfunctional family?
Certainly not.
Would that in any way change the fact that she has no impulse control?
It's poor impulse control, that's correct.
Would that in any way change what you saw here during the cross-examination?
No.
And that was poor impulse control, wasn't it?
It appeared to be, yes.
Would that in any way change her background?
No.
Would that in any way change the way she sees the world?
No.
You're familiar with Kaplan and Sadek, are you not?
Yes.
It's a psychiatric textbook,
Correct.
a counterpart to the DSM-3R.
Yes.
And you're familiar with Kaplan and Sadek's description of personality disorders.
I have read it, yes.
That description encompasses borderline, antisocial, dependent, all the personality disorders.
Any,
The introductory part.
right, any disorder which causes a person to be dysfunctional.
You tell me if this is consistent in your experience with all personality disorders. People suffering, and this is from Kaplan and Sadek, from personality disorders exhibit the repetitious self-detrimental responses that are often associated with the behavior of persons who are fatigued. Is that true?
Yes.
Brain damage,
Could be, yes.
under severe stress,
Yes.
immature,
Certainly.
primitive,
Yes.
lacking in impulse control.
That's what they're going to say about me. They're going to be like, he was a primitive man.
Yes.
Lacking in judgment,
Actually, that's probably a little
or otherwise regressed.
to me
Emotional
of a
pain is
compliment.
often accepted as inevitable, rather than as something one can learn to avoid.
Correct.
It's true of all people with personality disorders.
To varying degrees, that's
It
correct.
doesn't matter how you label it, all of those disorders have that in common.
That is true.
On a scale of mental health, personality disorders fall between neurosis and psychosis. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
In any scheme that classifies persons in terms of their relative characteristic mental health, those with any personality disorder fall at the bottom. Is that true?
According to that textbook, yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Does the DSM-3 agree with that?
Yes.
Such persons uniformly have trouble working, loving, and dealing with the world.
Correct.
Is that true?
Yes.
And that would be true whether Ms. Wuornos suffered from an antisocial personality disorder or a borderline personality disorder, or both.
That is correct.
If the clinician but penetrates the armor or the protective covering of the personality disorder, one finds anxiety,
Being
depression,
possessed benign.
and pain. Is that true?
Number 9.
That is the
Number
reason
9,
that
number
clients
9.
try and hold on to their disorder not necessarily consciously, but because of the pain underneath if someone tries to get through to that.
All persons with personality disorders have difficulty adapting to the world, and attempting instead to make the world adapt to them.
That is correct.
It's from Kaplan and Sadik. A personality disorder is a way of making a painful truce with people one can neither live with nor live without. Have you seen that in your experience?
Yes,
And that's true of all personality disorders.
correct.
If neurotic symptoms are often the modes by which one copes with unbearable wishes and fears, personality disorders are the modes by which one copes with unbearable people.
Yes.
What does that mean? How does a person with a personality disorder, borderline, antisocial, whatever you want to label it, deal with the unbearable people they'd see about them?
Well, partly it varies, but generally, probably the most common situation is, again, to adapt to that person, to try and cope with that given situation. Sometimes that results in paranoia, sometimes that results in further rejection, which again just intensifies the personality needs of that individual.
And in fact, is the very next sentence. Consequently, their behavior consistently annoys other people, which results in their being labeled bad or sick.
That's correct. And that, I would say, would be particularly true of a borderline.
Thus, the disorders, all personality disorders, are characterized by the tendency to create a vicious cycle in which the already precarious interpersonal relationships are made worse by the person's manner of adapting
That's correct.
and of dealing in a world in which they cannot function.
Correct.
Is that true of her?
Very much so.
Whatever you want to label it?
Very much so.
Mr. Tanner asked you about how a person suffering from a borderline personality disorder would have been labeled before the DSM-3.
Yes.
DSM-3 came out in the 70s or something.
Yeah.
Before there was the DSM-2.
Correct.
And I think I touched on it on direct examination. Before that, a clinician seeing the type of behavior that Aileen Wuornos exhibits, some clinicians would characterize her as schizophrenic, right?
The most common categories given to those individuals now called borderlines would be schizoid personality disorder, paranoid personality disorder, or schizophrenic.
So before you had the borderline personality disorder, she would be labeled as schizoid, as paranoid, those types of things.
She may have been, yes.
And those types of people traditionally have been hospitalized, have they not?
Many,
They get medication in hospitals, do they not?
generally,
They get treated.
yes.
The school report that Mr. Tanner asked you about, he asked you some questions about the verbal and the performance IQ. He talked about dull normal being a category. There are terms of art that clinicians use, are there not?
Yes.
And if you can just explain, as I understand it, there's average or normal, and there's another one that's called dull normal, and then you get into the borderline or impaired thing.
At the time that she took that test, the categories are based on statistical frequency in the total population. So for example, if a person comes out with an IQ between 90 and 110, that person has the same IQ as approximately 70% of the entire population. Once you deviate from that, you either go up above average or below average. The actual category from 80 to 90 is called dull normal. Starting below 80 is called borderline retardation. The reason it was labeled in the report as low, dull, normal, because that is the name of the category, and it's low because it was only 1 point from a borderline retarded score.
So the category goes average or normal?
And at that time it was called normal, and then it goes dull normal, borderline retardation.
90 to 110.
Correct.
And then borderline, and then low dull normal, 80 to 90.
Just dull normal.
Dull normal, 80 to 90.
Correct.
And under 80, borderline retardation.
Yes.
She was at 80, was she not?
Yes.
She was at the cutoff for borderline retardation under that systematic.
One point from that.
If she had scored 1 point under that, she would be classified
It's
as
A,
borderline
retarded?
Would she not?
Yes.
The second part of the sentence, which Mr. Tanner did not read to you, indicates that the split between the verbal and the performance IQ yields a significant divergence of 26 points.
Yes.
What were the people who were testing her in school saying when they saw that split between her verbal IQ, her ability to reason, and her performance IQ?
Whenever we see a split like that, and that is a significantly large split, even a split of any more than 10-point difference, we immediately suspect some type of learning disability or some type of organic problem. What that record is suggesting is the need for further evaluation and further assessment and treatment for someone who has that kind of split in their IQ scores.
And right now we were talking about Lee being on the border of mental retardation, right?
In that verbal, the verbal areas,
And she's sitting here laughing while you're talking about that.
apparently.
Is that consistent with a borderline personality disorder?
Yes.
We're talking about these impairments she has suffered throughout her life.
Yes.
In your experience, patients that you see off the street, are they uncomfortable when they listen to what is wrong with them?
Sure.
Does she seem to understand anything that you're saying here?
At one level, she understands. The way she is coping with it, though, is certainly inappropriate.
And why is that?
Because it's extremely hard for Lee or other individuals with that diagnosis to accept that there is anything wrong with her.
That same school report indicated that her split and her low, dull, normal verbal IQ indicated difficulty in assimilation of facts, numerical concepts, word knowledge, and social awareness, that those things were far below average.
Correct.
Is that consistent?
Sure.
Is that consistent with how she is today?
Appears to be, yes.
The outstanding feature was a remarkable concern for strong family ties. Language lack restricts ability to organize experience and interact with peers. Is that consistent with what you've seen today?
I would say that if they had a borderline personality disorder category back then, just even hearing that would fit her into that.
Moral values, concern for her family's hurt contribute to her guilt feelings. It is vital for this girl's welfare that she receive counseling immediately. That's the school report.
That is correct.
An antisocial personality disorder has its precursor oftentimes in a dysfunctional family.
Yes.
Why?
We learn from our environment. We learn from our family, generally speaking. Positive role models, positive modeling generally result in positive behavior. Negative role models, dysfunctional models and modeling typically result in dysfunctional behavior.
An antisocial personality disorder does not exclude a borderline personality disorder.
Oh, no.
Are you more messed up when you got both?
You certainly could be, but in this case, I would certainly say that the borderline personality disorder is so classic that it essentially has dominated Ms. Wuornos' functioning.
And on top of all that, in this case, you have cognitive impairments. You have cerebral dysfunction.
Based on the testing, yes.
Based on the testing, you have a brain that is impaired.
Yes.
What the hell?
You testified,
What the hell?
and I asked you about starting fires. You said no, not before 15, correct?
I said deliberately setting fires before 15. I was not aware of that.
Okay. Well, had you been provided the statement of Barry Wuornos, her brother, and where he said that she started a fire in the field next door, and that's how she burned herself, and she was around 13 or 14?
I'm aware of that. That was the incident I was referring to in which she was with her older sister.
Okay, that's below 15.
That's correct.
She deliberately started that fire.
I have no evidence that she deliberately started the fire. That's where we're differing, apparently.
Okay. Well, how about the statement of Lori Brody? That is her sister. And Lori Brody said that she started a fire in junior high school, I believe in the bathroom, one of the girls' bathrooms, and that she was in the 7th, 8th, or 9th grade. That'd be 12, 13, 14 years old, wouldn't it?
I did not see that in any of the school records.
Maybe this will help. May I approach?
Yes, sir.
I know you've had to review a lot of material in a short time. Remember reviewing it?
I reviewed this.
Okay.
I said I didn't see it in the school records. I did see it in this.
Okay, that was in the school record, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I did not see the fire setting in the school, which is alluded to here in the school records.
So, in fact, she had started firing girls' bathrooms somewhere between the 7th and 9th grade, below the age of 15, and a social personality.
She may meet that criteria, yes.
And as far as personality disorders, borderline personality disorders, common, isn't it?
Among people in general? No.
It's not?
No.
How about grabbing the DSM-3 and help me understand this statement? Page 347.
I don't have the same one you have. I have the same content, but not the same pages.
Maybe we get to the same page. May I approach the witness?
Sir.
Would you begin reading, or is it prevalence?
Tab 347, sir?
Yes, sir.
It says, according to prevalence, borderline personality disorder is apparently common.
Thank you.
They're referring to clinical populations.
Oh, the words apparently common don't have the normal meaning that we understand it because it's in a psychology book?
That whole book is referring to clinical populations.
So then you can interpret it any way you want according to psychologists, regardless of how it reads?
That's a clinical book.
Well, how about this? Prevalence with regard to antisocial personality disorder. What about that? How common is that?
It's among populations who have engaged in some type of criminal behavior. It is also fairly common, but certainly not totally. It does not totally explain all criminal behavior. But certainly there are individuals who are in the judicial system who do have antisocial personality disorder.
It is uncommon for a person with just borderline personality disorder to kill numerous people, isn't it?
It's unusual for anybody to kill.
Very unusual, isn't it?
Yes.
But it would be more usual for someone in the category of antisocial personality disorder, wouldn't it?
Statistically, that is correct.
They kill more people than the borderline folks.
Objection, Your Honor.
They kill more people than borderline folks, don't they?
That is correct.
Objection.
And in fact, in America, less than 1% of American females
Come on, Eileen. Bum, bum, bam.
have the antisocial personality disorder, correct?
I'm not aware of that statistic, but I'll accept that.
Well, would you accept that prevalence, and let me just read, antisocial personality disorder, 343, says, in fact, let me just ask you if you'll read the prevalence. You read the prevalence on the borderline, this is the antisocial.
It says the estimate of the prevalence of antisocial personality among American males is about 3%, and for American females is less than 1%.
Thank you. Aileen Wuornos is legally sane, isn't she?
Yes.
She's competent to stand trial, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
She's responsible for her acts, isn't she?
Yes.
And she understands the consequences of her acts, doesn't she?
Yes.
No further question, Your Honor?
Your Honor, I need to change my paper.
Yeah, this guy's been up for 2 hours. Court reporter's like, I've got to change the paper, sir.
Thank you.
Video's almost done. I'm interested to see what the next one
The
is. If it's over 2 hours, that'd be
disorders
crazy.
listed in the statistical manual are disorders, right?
Yes,
The people this book talks about are people who are impaired.
correct.
The clinical group this book describes are people who are functioning at a level below the vast majority of society.
That is correct.
People who are deficient,
In some ways, yes.
people who are disturbed,
Yes.
people who are impaired.
Correct.
The borderline personality disorder, according to the DSM-3R, is more commonly diagnosed in females,
That is correct.
and Lee Wuornos is a female.
Yes.
When it says that that disorder is common, it means common among people who have mental health problems.
Not that many videos left, but I'm not sure how, like, every time I click on a new one, it's just like 2 hours.
That is correct.
Among people who are hospitalized.
Not necessarily hospitalized, but
At
just
large-
people that somehow come to the attention.
Okay.
Let's see if I can figure it out after this. It's almost over.
Let me read you the part in the antisocial personality disorder that Mr. Tanner did not read to you. Let me tell you if this is consistent with your understanding.
Your Honor, please, I would object to frame the question. I didn't read the whole book. He can
Withdrawn.
read anything he wants. I
Withdrawn.
shouldn't be faulted for not reading it.
Withdrawn. Let me read you another part out of the DSM-3R in the antisocial personality disorder section. And this is talking about the commonality, how common this is among disturbed individuals. The disorder is more common in lower class populations, partly because it is associated with impaired earning capacity, and partly because fathers of those with the disorder frequently have the disorder themselves, and consequently, their children often grow in impoverished homes. That's one of the common characteristics.
Yes.
And her family was dysfunctional,
Yes.
and she had her disorders when she was with Mr. Mallory.
Yes.
Were you able to formulate, I know Mr. Tanner asked you some questions about sanity. You don't think that Ms. Wuornos was insane at the time she was with Mr. Mallory.
No.
But she did have the borderline personality disorder when she was with him.
She still has it. Yes.
That disturbance that she had since childhood was with her when she was with him.
Sure.
To a reasonable degree of psychological certainty, was her capacity to conform her conduct to the requirements of the law substantially impaired when she was with Mr. Mallory
I would say yes,
because of her disorders?
because of her disorder.
To a reasonable degree of psychological certainty, was her capacity to understand the nature and consequences of her actions substantially impaired when she was with Mr. Mallory?
Yes.
Not obliterated, not absent, but impaired.
Yes.
And when she was with Mr. Mallory, did she have an extreme mental or emotional disturbance?
In my opinion, yes.
And those are the disorders we've been talking about.
Yes.
The disorders you see sitting here before you today.
Correct.
Nothing further.
No questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Discharge, Your Honor.
All right, the next one will be an hour and a half. All right, we're going to keep on trucking. They're not letting us go. Forensic psychologist Dr. Jethro Toomer testifies in the penalty phase. So we're on video 30, and it's an hour and a half. So let's see what we got left here. Let's see here. 31 is... Okay, so there's 2 hours. There's another half hour, so 2.5 hours. Another 15, so about 2:45. Oh, another hour, so about 3:45. And another half hour, so about another 4.5 hours or so, guessing. So I would say we've still got maybe 2 or 3 episodes left of this. Actually, yeah. We'll start with Jethro Toomer next week. Yeah. Wow. The penalty phase is about as long as the actual trial. Interesting stuff. Interesting. Did you see that one when I clicked on it? It was the judge and he was wearing normalish clothes. Interesting. Thanks everyone that came through here again. Bassett Page, thank you so much for getting us a new member in the book club. Again, book club will be live and in living color. We only got 6 hours left of this book. Just like here at Murder Church, when we pick a new trial, we'll pick a new book. We'll go into the third book, but we still got a little bit of time left. And one cool thing about it, even if you do become a member, the brand new member here today, you can go back and you can rewatch everything. Everything's in the archived live section. So go back and check it out. And we was talking about earlier, everybody's talking about Jack Lone, Sarge. Yeah, we used to do a lot of interviews. So if you dig deep into the lives, you'll find a lot of old crazy interviews with a lot of interesting people that we had no business interviewing or having on this show, honestly. Back when I used to take this a lot more serious, and well, I shouldn't say that because I still take it pretty serious, but I do it my way now. Definitely, I definitely have it. I do it for more fun now, where I used to really was growing the shit out of this thing for the longest time, but I had to chill out. I've talked about it. I used to get bad anxiety when I'd have people like Joe on here, actually, because it's, I'm like, why would this dude be talking to me? So now I used to have a lot of fun with it, but I think we have the most fun now because every show is exactly what I want it to be, and we kill it. And the folks that are hanging and banging with us out here, keeping the thing going. I can't believe how much of this is left, though. Book suggesting To Kill a Mockingbird. Well, I've read that, but it was in school. But we'll see. I don't know. I'll have to do some deepness on that because the books last a long time too, and we gotta see. Well, I don't know. We'll see. See what's up. We still got 6 hours of content, which we do about an hour a week, so we probably still got like 6 weeks left of Mindhunter, if I had to actually take a guess. Yeah, I've had a lot of cops on here. A lot of cops and a lot of lawyers. And television producers. A lot of weird stuff. Comedians. A lot of really weird episodes from back in the day. Survivors. Advocates. A lot of stuff deep in the archives back there. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you again Tuesday. We'll watch the body cam stuff again before we go into book club. But the next time you can see me, you'll be going directly into tonight's stream. We are done with the promotion from the Carolinas from 1990. Once we finish an area from a certain year, instead of just continuing, I like to jump completely to a new spot, do a little bit of time traveling, and we just ended up in 1981, and we're still in the South. We're in Tennessee, we're in Alabama, and we're in Georgia, and come through for some Southeastern Championship Wrestling from 1981. It's very interesting. The quality is not the best, but it's very fun to watch. And you're going to be leaving this stream going right into that one. If you guys could give it a like, I'd appreciate it. But also today at 4:45 Eastern, brand new video drops, so keep eyes on that. And please leave a comment. All the good stuff. I love you guys. You guys rule. You guys keeping it real. Keeping it real, baby. All right, I'll see you tonight. Let's go. Later, guys. Have a great Sunday. I gotta go shopping. I get some food. I can actually leave the house. Yes.
Pittsburgh. I think